purest form of ratchetness was on display right there. No, I don't know what you called it. What do you?
It's
I
always,
don't.
it's always something in sports.
Shower caps, flip flops. What they
Purple
call
hair. I think I saw purple hair. I think.
sundresses. Purest form of
No, no, no.
ratchetness.
Those are not
Call them the
sundresses.
sundresses.
I ain't saying they are. I ain't saying they are, but you know.
Those are not sundresses. I know what sundresses are. Those were not it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. My bad, good people. All right, so if y'all came on earlier, y'all know we had some technical difficulties, man. Technical difficulties on my end. My bad. But y'all know what it is, man. What up, and what is up? Welcome to the show out here live at the DMV, man. Glad to have y'all here. All right, man. Look, man. Got a lot of stuff to cover, man. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. As y'all know, a lot of stuff happened in the world out there this week, man. Some mass killings and all this other stuff, man. But you know, crazy. My March Madness buddy over there, he over there watching March Madness and trying to entertain us today. You know how he do. You know,
Man, Illinois weak, man.
I mean,
Illinois, Ohio State.
when have y'all had a good team? Period.
I'm not an Illinois fan, bro.
All right,
I just had them going to the Sweet 16.
You're a Notre Dame fan. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know. I don't know what Crystal watches. Well, Crystal, you watch basketball?
Just the NBA sometimes.
Oh, just the NBA? You don't watch WNBA?
Don't start with me.
If y'all know what that is, that's about
Don't start with me today.
Yo, all right. Anyway, man. Look, man, I got to give a big shout out to Virtuous Essence Candle Company, man. Make sure y'all go out and reach out to Dr. Regina Warren on Etsy. Hit up Virtuous Essence Candles. As a matter of fact, she will have an event on Saturday, March 27th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Down in Washington, D.C. on 1401 New York Avenue Northeast. So make sure you all contact her. Check her out on Etsy, or you can check her out on Instagram and get some more details. Check them out. I think there's gonna be some raffles, some giveaways, or something like that. I don't know, but hey, man, check it out, man. It's gonna be good stuff, man. Also, man, Soulberry.
That's close in the area.
Yeah, man, go out there and check it out and represent for us, baby. Soulberry Sweet, man. Soul.berry sweet on Instagram. Make sure y'all hit them up, man. All the candied strawberries, dipped candy strawberries, and all the other fruits and stuff like that, man. It's very good. Man, big shout out to Keith at Rock Bottom Music Group, man. Does all of our beats and everything like that. So, man, big shouts out to him. All right, man. Look, man, y'all know how we do, man. We always begging y'all for $1 or $2, man. You know, we ain't got none yet.
We might take that off.
I know, right? But look, man, we know y'all come in and watch us, man, but help us, man. We are content creators, man. We trying to get out here and do some things, man. Hey, you gonna spend $1 on some nonsense anyway. So go ahead and just shoot us $1, man. At Cash App the show 20. All right, y'all know what y'all know. Elijah already coming in here today talking about shots fired, man. Big yeah. Hey, Elijah, Elijah saw what I did there. Elijah saw what I did there. Nah, he ain't got your back. He ain't got your back. He know what it, he know what it was.
I should go way back. He's got my back. Okay, he's got my back.
He know what it was. Speaking of knowing what it was, man, y'all guess what, man? We got around the horn for Christmas.
Looking like I'm from the D. D's no Cartiers. Pockets deep, bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa. I press the button and the doors go up like.
Okay, so
What do you be laughing at?
I'm happy. Can I laugh? I like my little theme music. Okay.
Can she laugh, Ron? Can she laugh?
Anyway, I don't know if y'all saw this. Palm Beach, Florida, 4 women at a Popeyes drive-thru apparently had an altercation with the employees in the drive-thru window, and then they were fighting them. Apparently, someone sprayed an aerosol into the building as well, and then one of the women also reached in and grabbed money out of the cash register. So apparently, last I heard, they arrested 3 of the women, and I guess one is still at large.
Mm.
So, what
What?
y'all think about this?
Ratchetness. That's what I think about it.
Hey yo, look.
Ratchetness.
Hey yo, is that a? Did she got a shower cap or whatever on her head?
That's what I'm saying. Ratchetness. Ratchetness in its purest form whatsoever.
And that wasn't even over a chicken sandwich this time.
It was over the fish sandwich.
Well, I guess I don't know if they came there with the intention of robbing the place or if they just got into an altercation. I guess that's not clear. So, but whatever it is, they feeling the consequences now, except for that one. I don't know if they'll ever get
Which one?
there. The one that's still at large.
Oh.
And the one in the shower cap, she's still a large, bro.
It's like I said, Nehemiah said not the purest. Yes, the purest form of ratchetness was on display right there. I don't know what you call it. What do you? I don't.
It's always something.
Shower caps, flip flops. What they
Purple
call
hair. I think I saw purple hair. I think.
Sundresses. Purest form.
No. Those are not
sundresses.
I ain't saying they are. I ain't saying they are. But
those are not sundresses. I know what sundresses are. Those were not it.
What was it? What was it? The trick. What was it?
Yo, they
what
were.
Was it? I gotta go back and play a video because I want to see what that is.
I don't know.
What was it?
No, those aren't sundresses, bro. Sundresses go to at least your knees, bro. Them ain't sundresses, okay?
No, she was getting. All I know is Shorty was getting dragged at the window because her head was going back. It wasn't. I don't know, man. Whoever the cashier was, she was putting in work.
You talking about this right here when she's walking? That is not a sundress.
I don't know what that is.
That is a dress if you go into Law Society in DC.
Oh,
like,
man.
don't start with the sundress.
That ain't no sundress, man. That look like a sundress.
That is
I don't
not.
know.
That is not a bro. That's not a sun. Look at that.
I don't know.
Is that
I don't know
purple
what that
hair?
is.
Is that purple hair?
I think
It's a
that's
bonnet.
a bonnet.
She came out to Popeyes in a bonnet. As I said, ratchetness.
I mean,
I like to do hood rat things with my hood rat friends.
but who goes to Popeyes dressed up though? I mean, for real, if you just going through the drive-through.
You know, they probably going to a party where they gonna spread COVID because that's what people do anyway.
I mean, I don't get dressed up if I'm going in a drive-through. So
Look, if you don't care about fighting somebody at Popeyes, you don't care about going to a party and spreading COVID. That's what they doing. They was trying to get that 30 piece so they go to a party and spread COVID.
All right. All right.
all right. Well, in other news, we have in Atlanta, Robert Aaron Long. I guess he's a suspect in the killing of 8 people at 3 different massage parlors.
That's trash.
And 6 of the women that were killed, they were all women, and 6 of them were 8 of Asian descent. So right now, I guess they're trying to figure out if this is a hate crime. But according to police, he said he did it because he wanted to get rid of the temptation because apparently he's a sex addict. And
See,
hey, even he's trying to he's saying that he's getting rid of women because he's a sex addict. That's still a hate crime. So either way it go, it's a hate crime. And when I saw that police chief come out there, I was hoping he should be fired. And I hope this happened in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
I hope the mayor.
But that was Atlanta police. That was
Okay.
that was Cherokee something. That
Yeah,
was
that
the
was
Lance
something.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I hope whoever's in charge down there can get him out of his position, because that was the dumbest comment to come out there and say. And it's going to touch on our topic that we talk about today. And you know, the privilege really does show itself.
Yeah.
You
He had a
know,
bad
because
day.
yeah, he had a bad day. Because like I said, if this was a Muslim American out here doing that, they would have called it an act of terrorism right then and there.
Yeah.
If
Well,
there's,
that
you know,
well that spokesperson, he's in trouble now too. Um, they're gonna fire him anyway because apparently they found a post or whatever where he's wearing a shirt where he's saying it's like a Chinese flu or saying like Wuhan or Kung flu or something like that. He's wearing it and then he put like a post like blaming China for the virus or whatever. So he's gonna get fired anyway. So that's why he said it because he saw himself in that dude. He
Mm,
saw himself in that suspect. That's why he
mm,
said he had a bad day.
that's a good point,
That's
Trent.
it.
That's a good point, Trent.
yeah. I agree with you. I think he should be fired. And I think this plays right into all the, racism and hatred going on towards the Asian community right now.
Mm.
It started with, the
Like I
last.
said, like I said, Crystal, a couple weeks ago. You know, I did a dissertation about how the hatred and profiling and discrimination against Muslim Americans were an after fact because of 9/11 and the policies put in place. You got to think about the coronavirus, the politicians' rhetoric, the policies that they tried to enact and put in place. All this stuff is a cycle, you know, and they're getting
Exactly.
treated.
Yeah.
They're getting treated because they're getting treated like this because the politicians out there are putting these policies out there saying, "Oh yeah, you should be able to. You can't do this." You had a former president saying China virus, you know, so that kind of stuff. You know, people keep a lot of stuff. You know, it's a mental thing. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
I agree with you, and I think the last administration definitely played it up. All the hatred. Speaking of hatred, people are hating on Sharon Osbourne. She's one of the members of what is she on what's that show called? The Talk.
yeah, the
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Yeah, her little whining ass. I'm sorry.
Apparently, she went on to defend Pierce Morgan for his comments towards Meghan Markle, and you know how we talked about this on the last show.
Hmm.
He got a vendetta against Meghan Markle, and everything he says is negative towards her. So apparently, Sharon Osbourne came out and defended him, and as a result, people are now dragging her. She's getting death threats.
Well, it's not that. It's not just that. Also, remember she got into it with. She tried to. So she started crying. Right. She started doing her little typical, tears. That a certain portion of the country like to do when they get. When somebody show them themselves. But she tried to tell what's her name, Cheryl Underwood, who was like the other co-host. So
Yeah,
Cheryl Underwood was like, "I didn't call you a racist." So Sharon Osbourne was like, "Oh, you guys are calling me a racist." Blah blah blah. Cheryl was like, "I didn't call you a racist," and she's feeling attached. She starts kind of crying, and Sharon's like, "You stop crying. You shouldn't be crying. I'm the one that should be crying. You guys are calling me a racist." So that's why people are like coming at Sharon Osbourne because like,
Sharon,
how dare you?
Hold up. Sharon Osbourne was crying.
Yep. Because they called her out for what she is and who she is and why and so she got upset and felt she was being attacked. So now she starts crying and she flips it on Cheryl Underwood, who's black, who was trying to say, "I wasn't calling you a racist. We're trying to explain why the comments that Pierce Morgan said were sexist, racist, whatever." And because you defended her, it's like you can't be. We just call you out for that. But she got mad, and so she decided she's going to attack the black woman on the talk show, and tell her she shouldn't be crying. I should be crying.
Mm. Did
Exactly.
Cheryl Underwood go off
Exactly.
on her? Did Cheryl Underwood go off on?
No, Cheryl Underwood was crying. Cheryl Underwood was like, "Yo, I'm trying to," because Cheryl Underwood was like, "I thought we were friends, and the fact that you're coming at me like this when I didn't come at you like that, you know what I'm saying?" So apparently they haven't talked since. That's why they put the show on hiatus.
Mm.
mm,
Cause Cheryl
Her
Underwood was
little
gonna
her.
Cheryl Underwood was gonna whoop her. That's what was
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
She was gonna whoop her. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, Crystal.
So 12 Republicans voted against giving the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal to the U.S. Capitol police officers that helped defend the Capitol during the riots. Um, and one of those officers was Eugene Goodman, the one that led the rioters away from the, I guess it was the Senate or the Senate House.
The Senate chamber.
Yeah, Senate chambers. So, yeah, 12 Republicans voted against giving them the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal. What do you guys think about that?
Hey, pure hatred. That's all. That's all it is. I don't understand it. There's nothing. There's really nothing to talk about on this one because 12 Republicans. Not saying they are racist. Not saying they're not or they are. But I mean, these people defended you.
Yeah.
And the messed up thing about politics, right, is we've gotten to this thing now. People don't vote on the issues anymore. They vote on popularity. And so I can only imagine, like I said, in a few years how politics play out because, excuse me, you get a lot of people that come in these races that have no idea. They don't have any clue about politics. They're so-called politicians, right? They're the ones that spew the inconsistent information or the misinformation to their bases and all this other stuff. Like I said, I don't know. There's nothing really to talk about on this one. It's just,
Yeah, I think, certain people are never going to change unless you vote them out. They're always going to have the same viewpoints. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is.
But a lot of people in the United States have that viewpoint. That's why those people get elected.
Exactly. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why she won.
That's what I'm saying. Play to your base. You have no political background. You have no education based on politics. Nothing. But you go out here, and because of the way these districts are drawn, right? You got a base that follows the same ideas and thinking that you have, and it's easy to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into a position like this when you're in DC, and you're said, hey, you're told, hey, you got to vote on something simple that should be it should be no issue at all. It shouldn't even had it shouldn't have had nobody vote no. You know what I mean? But you got 12 people that voted no. What was their reason, Crystal? You know what their reason was?
I don't think they gave any reason. They just
voted no.
Voted no.
Like I said, man, whatever.
I mean, I didn't see any statements from many of them. So
whatever. They still gonna get one. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that was Around the Horn, Miss Chris, man. Y'all appreciate it. All right, yo, check it out, man. We're gonna come right back after a sponsored message from one of our sponsors, Recovery Athletics, with the hot button topic that we were talking about earlier, and going to go in depth on. Yeah, so we're back, and we had a good segment at the beginning of the show talking about some stuff, but we talked. Crystal brought up at the beginning of the show Around the Horn. She was talking about the case with the individual down in Georgia, who we're all going to call it what it is. It's a hate crime, right? So what we're talking about today is we're talking about the realization that white supremacy still exists. I don't even know why it's considered a realization. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of evident when you have certain things that go on in America today. For instance, the example we were talking about today where the police chief said certain things when he said he can't really call it a hate crime. Go figure. I think Trent said that he sees himself in the individual that committed the crime. You're talking about the issue with George Floyd. You're talking about the college admission scandal, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of things that kind of play to privilege, and also play to white supremacy. And so
Yeah.
the problem is, why is it that we have to deal with this? We having the same conversation we had in the 50s and the 60s in 2021.
Because
Well, go ahead, Crystal.
it's just people's mindset hasn't changed. I mean, throughout history, you know, we've had not just, racism against the African American community, but also racism against the Asian American community. I mean, if you look at the internment camps that we had,
Hmm.
I don't
Pearl
even know
Harbor.
what year was that.
Pearl Harbor. After Pearl
Yeah,
Harbor. Yeah.
and then
Japanese Americans were in concentration camp style. Yeah.
In internment camps.
Internment camps, yeah. They call them internment camps,
Hmm.
but hey.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, you had a lot of racism then, and it still goes on today. And I mean, and especially now with the COVID virus and the last administration playing up that racism and xenophobia, it's just it's always been there, but you see it now. People feel like they can freely express that. I mean, just like we've seen racists towards the black community feel like they can now come out and be open about it because the last administration was, openly racist. I mean, and in a lot of their statements, a lot of their policies.
Well, I
So
mean, look, it's look. I say this. There's tiers to this thing, right? There's levels to it, right? When it comes to white supremacy, right? White supremacy runs this country, has always has, and until
Yeah,
you
look at our
break it,
forefathers.
always will, right? And there's tiers to it, right? You've got the lower tier, right? You've got the most, the poor white who still think that they're better than everybody and than people, than black people because of their skin, whatever. Pure racism, you got that tier, right? And then you've got, another tier that's kind of like in the middle, and then like the upper tier, whatever, who are like, middle class. They ain't gonna call you the N word, but they'll say things like, "Oh, you're articulate for a black person," right? And then you've got
Mm.
another tier that's like, these the people that really run things, right? On Wall Street, politicians, blah blah blah, who are, who want to push legislation and push judges, who believe a certain thing is going to continue to keep things the way they were on both sides, not just Republicans, but Democrats as well. So
yeah,
there's different tiers to it, and until you break all three of those tiers, it's always going to be there.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, people. You have people that raise their children to have these beliefs. Parents who have these beliefs, and they raise their children to have these beliefs, and the cycle goes on and on and on. I mean, until people actually stand up against racism, from their peers, from their family members, um, you're not going to break that cycle. It's just going to keep continuing. And I mean, I think there's been progress made, but it's not as much as to really make a big difference.
Yeah, and that's why I always say it's not up to everyone else, all the minorities to fix it. It's up to the people that benefit from white supremacy the most, and that's white people. You know what I'm saying? They have to be the ones to call it out and start, actually addressing it and start to dismantle certain things, whatever. Um, because if you don't have that, if you don't have, like our people who say they're allies and stuff, because again, black people, Asian people, Latinx people are tired of having to educate people on everything. You know what I'm saying? On racism. It ain't up now. It's not up to us. We can't fix in something that we didn't start. You know what I'm saying? And that we have no control over.
Yeah, you're right. I've also I believe that, but I've also seen, some people in the white community trying to make a difference, and then them in turn getting attacked for that too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's very true. That's been happening for decades now, where
yeah,
we've had individuals from other communities that were a part of the movement for civil rights and who stood up against their peers and were attacked for it. I mean,
Yeah. What's the rabbi, right? That was with Martin Luther King. I can't. I forgot his name, but he was the one that was beat to death, I believe, because he was marching with Martin Luther King.
Yeah. I don't know who the guy's name was.
Yeah, but
you,
it was a few of them that were marching and all this stuff, and they got like you said, Ron.
I think you were talking about Abraham Joshua or something like that.
Is that his name? I think that might be. I think that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I'll look it up. I'll find it.
But yeah.
But what else you got to say? I mean, like,
I'm just
Crystal,
saying.
Ron.
I think the biggest thing is okay. So we're touching on the topic of or the basis of how do we combat it, right? How do we combat this? And like you all said, it kind of starts within their own community because we can't. Obviously, it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay. Relevant because people are taught certain issues and behaviors. I mean, they're taught certain ways of behaving, right?
Yeah.
I think just the other day, I heard a young kid, young white boy. He had to be no more than 8 years old. He was using N-word. I'm like, where did he hear that from? I get it. A lot of people gonna say he heard it from the pop culture and the music and all this other stuff, TV. Yeah, but who in the household is telling him that that's wrong? Nobody. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to put that on the parents per se, but at the same time, I don't know I don't know where it's being taught, and I don't know if it's being praised or if it's not. You know what I mean?
Bro, if that little boy is saying the hard R, he didn't get that from pop culture. He got that from somebody in his family or somebody at school that he's close with. He didn't get that from pop culture, saying the hard R. There's a difference between saying the hard R and the GA. There's a difference. He got if he's going around freely saying that a lot, man. There's no one else to look at but somebody in his family or close friend.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming pop culture. People want to blame pop culture and all this other mess. Nah, blame the parents for not raising their kids right. It is what it is.
Well, when we talk, let me another point on this because a frat brother of mine, him and I were having a conversation about I think it was last weekend. Where we're sitting down talking about 13th Amendment. And Trent, I think I talked to you about this and how this plays into the realm of white supremacy. So when you talk about the 13th Amendment, is there a correlation between the 13th Amendment and white supremacy? Do you think so?
Oh, yeah. The 13th Amendment, all it is just a new form of slavery.
Oh, you care to elaborate?
No.
I'm saying, for the viewers out there that don't know what the 13th Amendment is, can you kind of elaborate and give them some information?
Nah. Can you? You brought it up.
So pretty much it's an abolishment of slavery and involuntary servitude. Obviously, I guess you just didn't know. I guess you didn't know.
I know.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So it's abolishment of slavery and involuntary servitude. However, when we talk about these prison sentences, we talk about punishment. Yeah, we talk about
the prison system. It's a new form of slavery. Like I said.
So
you wanted me to explain it, but you weren't going to explain it.
He didn't want to explain it. He said, "Can I?" And I was about to, and then he wanted to interject and kind of.
No, because you want to say, "I know, I knew."
Well, you
but
acting
go ahead
like
and
it. Nah. It's too late now. You're light skinned and
we're the same color, man. We are the same shade.
I mean, I get what you're saying with the prison systems and everything being like a new form of slavery, but how do you think the 13th Amendment played part in?
It allows it. It allows it. What do you? Hold on. Let me go back. Crystal, what are you trying to ask? Like, are you asking that if the 13th Amendment did what?
You're saying it basically played a part in making these new forms of slavery, but you had to I mean, they had to abolish slavery. I mean, I don't
So let me.
think
Oh,
the
sorry.
13th
Well,
Amendment is a
I guess the question is,
I'll explain it.
hold
Let me
on,
explain. Let me
hold on
explain it.
one second. I guess the question is,
Mhm.
is slavery really abolished? Is it really abolished if there's other ways of getting around it? That's I think that to
Exactly.
me,
It's just a
that's the
new form.
biggest
It's just a
thing.
new form of
Yeah,
slavery.
new
It's just
form
a
of
new form.
slavery.
Because
okay.
the 13th Amendment, right? Yeah, it abolished slavery except for a crime for punishment for crimes, right? So now what do they do? Okay, well now let's go ahead and fill these prisons. We got things that we need accomplished and done, right? Like making license plates or whatever they're doing. So
Yeah.
now let's make all these laws or whatever that's going to go against black and brown people, put them in prison and use them for servitude.
Yeah.
And that's
To me, that's just another form of slavery.
and that goes to the concept that we were talking about earlier when we talked about white supremacy. Because when I talked about these politicians making these laws and stuff like that, these type of
Hmm.
things play into why white supremacy still exists in a lot of people's opinions.
Hmm.
And so when I asked the question, do you think it, and I was kind of just leading into the debate, asking the
Hmm.
question like, hey, do you think it, it correlates? And it does. Everybody,
Yeah.
I think anybody with a common sense brain or mind will think
Hmm.
so.
Yeah.
And the problem that I have is if we're we keep talking about voting against voting along party lines, Democrats and Republicans and all this other stuff. The Democrats are much better than the Republicans. No, the Republicans are much better than Democrats. Well, no, the Republicans care more about the people. Well, the Democrats, all this other BS that you hear about politicians and different aisles, right? How come nobody from Congress has stepped up to address the issue of the 13th Amendment?
Because
They might
again,
not.
right, because it benefits the white supremacy that they benefit from, Democrat or Republican. That's
Mm,
why.
mm.
Well, didn't Joe Biden pass something?
Joe Biden ain't passed nothing.
Or he talked about,
Executive order.
or did it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
with the private prisons, right?
He did. Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, he stopped federal funding for the prisons or whatever, for private prisons or whatever. I think that's what it was. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody in the one of our viewers can look that up. But I think that's what the executive order was. Not giving federal funding to them.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what. This extremism stuff and supremacy stuff is getting it. I think right now, one in this administration, you see a black Secretary of Defense come in. The
Hmm.
military is going on very strict. I've never seen it. They're
Dude,
going
bro,
on a
yes.
very strict path right now to root out extremism and
Yep.
and white supremacy.
And
Um,
guess who's attacking them? Guess who's attacking them?
the
Fox
Republic.
News,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Breitbart, all
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
attacking them.
Your far right folks are attacking them, of course.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see steps being taken. But we have to have our internal champions in that community to step up and start being vocal about that. About changing that. So, there's a former boss of mine. She's very vocal about this stuff. She goes
Hmm.
out. She goes out and she does a lot of stuff in the community to address these issues. Remember Dr. Susan Glisson that we had on during inauguration night,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
One of my old professors.
Yeah.
Very, she's been out there trying to be an agent of change in her community for over 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the type of people we need, and we need them to step up even more and get other people to step up.
Well, I think yeah, I agree with you, Ron. I agree with you. I think we talked about it once before on the show, about how you have people on like the local and state levels who are actually doing the work, but they're not being highlighted on a national level, right? News isn't covering them. Both sides, right? No one's covering them, right? MSNBC, CNN, that's supposed to be on that side is not covering them. And so, they're doing the work, they're doing enough on the local and state level, but they're not being highlighted because it's not sensational enough for these news organizations, because
Right.
a lot of these news organizations are ran by the same five people or same five corporations.
Yep.
Yeah.
that benefit from white supremacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all know, man. This is gonna be a topic that we bring up in the 30-minute overtime segment, man. But we gotta, even though we started late, we gotta catch up on time. We still gotta catch up on time. So look, man, check it out, man. Speaking of Joe Biden, I got one for y'all.
It's my say what of the week. Say what?
Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all.
Frozen.
A6 all the hate.
All right, yeah. So guess what, man? Like I said, speaking of Joe Biden, man, was it an epic fail or an epic fall? You tell me. You be the judge. Get your ass up.
He gonna turn around and say,
Well, you saw the gimp though.
bro. Yo, they put this dude in an ice bath afterwards.
They had that joint.
This dude got Epsom salt. That brother is sore.
But I can't. You know what? To tell you the truth, man, when you see somebody, you know, when you see somebody fall the first time, you're like, oh dang, you okay? But when they keep falling, it's when they keep falling. When they keep falling, it's like, dang, dude.
He twisted his leg.
Right?
He died.
And then
He did.
And then he gonna look down like something tripped him up. I think everybody do that when they fall up the stairs.
All right, so now isn't this the same? Didn't he hurt his leg a couple months ago or something like that?
Yeah, man.
I know he hurt his leg a couple months ago. So maybe it gave out on. All I know is this, man. Joe Biden, if you're listening, Mr. President, if you're listening, if you're watching, if your advisors are watching, please, you're not young, okay? There's no need to run up the steps. They're not going to leave you. You know what I mean? Look, Bo did it, and he did it very well, but he was younger. You, my friend, I would ask that you never do it again.
Yo, have you seen the memes, bro? Have you seen the memes where it's, the Mario Kart one where he's going up and he like throws out the banana peel? Yo, people are vicious, dude.
I knew they had to meme that. I knew.
They said they was on the IG comments on Shade Room talking about the steps assassinated Joe Biden.
Yeah, they saw all kind of stuff.
They was saying stupid stuff.
And the White House gonna say it was the wind. You hear that? The White House
no damn
the
wind. Look, that
no wind. He just slipped.
Right. Hey, Trent, like you say, hey, what we do? We call everybody out for the BS.
Yeah,
that was BS.
Right.
Y'all,
right.
Hey, don't try to feed us that. Y'all know this, man.
No wind.
I don't even think he slipped. I don't know what that was. How you fall going up the steps? Elijah said. I don't know.
I've done it multiple times. I did it at work a few times, and been laughed at when I did it by people I didn't even know it worked.
All I know is we keep it. Hey, look, everybody's like, how you? And, I got a text message. How you gonna go on Joe Biden? Look, man, I don't care. I don't know these people. Look,
Joe can get it too.
Hey, look, right, exactly. We said that a long time ago. Remember, Mitch McConnell? Remember he fell on the podium.
Oh yeah.
And remember, and the previous co-host got mad at us because he was like, "How are you going to talk about?" He could have seriously hurt. Look, bro, it go around the whole room. We don't care.
Right, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? So Joe Biden, you got it today.
Yeah.
All right, y'all buckle up. Y'all buckle up. Got another confession letter coming in.
Some problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double my...
All right, here we go. So this is another long one in a way. All right, so here we go. I recently ran into an issue where I planned an out-of-town trip away with some good friends of mine, girls trip to Cancun. My job has some very strict regulations in place when it comes to leave policies, so I only indicated that I needed the time off. It is a private company, if you're wondering. However, while I'm away, I get a phone call from the project manager asking where I am. I replied on leave. He replies back that someone has notified him that I have possibly left the country. There's only one person at my job who I consider a hater and low key stalker who is in my business 24/7 in order to get himself ahead. But when I came back the following week, I approached the guy and told him to mind his damn business. He tells me he only did what was right and reported it. Anyway, I lost my job, employed now with competitor that day because I beat his ass. Luckily, luckily, no charges were filed, but this was a sign of privilege as I am a young black woman I'm working amongst older white men and young white women.
Wow.
So
My thing is how would they have grounds to fire her unless
they
like
wouldn't.
unless like they had something in place where you couldn't travel outside of the
But
country.
no, they can't do that. Private entities can't. I don't believe private companies could do that.
Federal government can't do that either.
Well, the government can do that for military service members and
I guess so.
Yeah, they can do that
Well,
for military and civilians. They can do that.
That's right, because I was denied to go to Cuba
Contractors
that one time.
too. Contractors can get fired if we don't report. I guess it depends.
That's a little bit different. That's a little bit different when you talk about reporting your status on as far as going out of country and stuff like that for your clearance issues. But this right here is not a clearance issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have to report right then and there. She has up to a certain amount of time after the trip to report it. Mm-hmm. So she could have reported after the fact, no matter what. But even still, let's just take out the whole clearance issue because we don't know if she had a clearance or not, or if it required a clearance. The problem is she was fired by a private company because she beat the dude's ass.
Was that why? I thought she got fired beforehand.
No, from what I understood when I read it was saying that she got fired for beating the dude's ass.
Oh, well then.
So she says, "Wait, hold on." So she says, yeah. He tells me he only did what was right reporting. Anyway, I lost my job that day. Oh yeah, that day because I beat his ass.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable.
I guess I guess what is she asking? Like, what is she asking us? Is she asking us if was she right for that? I would say yeah. I mean, he got what he deserved, like you said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have beat him up at work. I would have took him out somewhere and did that.
Or you ain't really supposed to get your hands dirty. You're supposed to have somebody else, some goons on the side that you call.
If
you got some cousins.
Because we all know that you got some cousins out in Chicago. You said you ready to call up on anybody.
Look, I got good. Man, my cousins, man, they wild, bro. They know I like playing chess, so they not gonna. So they'll fight for me. They like, Trent ain't gonna fight.
You like playing chess?
That's what they say. My cousins, man, they mess with me all the time because every time I see them, I'm like, "Hey, y'all want to play chess?" And they be like, "No."
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, man.
Is she asking if she's right?
I don't know. I think she's just she's confessing to the I don't know.
Well,
confessing her sins.
I've been there where she's at a couple of times. Actually, like more than a couple of times. Of course, I didn't.
You beat somebody up? Crystal?
No. I've been there.
Crystal be fighting. Crystal be fighting.
Crystal don't hire goons. Crystal got the money to hire goons, but she don't. She get her hands dirty, huh?
I've been there. Let me clarify. I've been there to where I wanted to put my hands on somebody, but I never did.
Crystal, you can't fight.
Okay.
Can you fight, Crystal?
Yeah, I can fight.
You can fight.
I can fight.
She said if she need to.
If I
take them pearls off and get the business.
Hey, take the pearls off me.
And start and beat them down. You don't want to mess up the pearls now. I don't lose the pearls.
I don't think I've fought anybody in my adult life. I don't think I have.
Anyway.
Then you ain't living. No, I was playing.
Anyway, all right. So, hey, that was a confession letter, man, and yeah, hey, appreciate you writing us in and letting us know. But hey, we got to get ready for closeout, and we're gonna go right into our overtime segment. But hey, Trent B, man, Trent has a new Instagram, people.
No, it's not.
Have
new.
y'all ever?
It's just,
Have y'all seen his handle? And have y'all seen his handle? This is the first time. This is the first time we have aired this handle on the show, and we're coming up on a year. So
what happened was the other one, for some reason, it wouldn't let Ron and tag or whatever. So I just updated and changed the name. That's all. It's the same thing. Same people following me.
hey, somebody watching Facebook Live in the comments, y'all go on Instagram real quick in the intermission before and then when we go to the overtime segment. See if you can go to this Instagram page.
I think I went.
And see how many posts he got.
One. I went to it. I was like, who is this? The TB. I was like, who is this? And then I went to it and I'm like, I was like, okay, maybe it's Trent. I was like, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, some stalker. I don't know. Well, we know Crystal has her information, and it's hey.
Yeah, I have some stalkers out there too. Miss Chris 757. You can reach me Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, but don't call me. I had somebody call me at 5 a.m. the other day.
Facebook?
I had to delete them. Yeah, block them.
Crystal, look, I know you participate in 90 Day Fiance stuff like that.
I don't.
Just get off.
Love is blind.
Just get off of that kind of stuff, right? Just get off of that. All right, look, man.
90 Day Fiance.
Hey, look, you can check me out on Instagram at DocRJ.5. Make sure you go like and follow that page. And then you can also hit me up on Twitter at RJSpeaks100. I am never there. I'm almost like Trent when it comes to IG. So, hey, if you go there, just follow. You might get something there and there. All right, man, make sure you follow this page on Facebook as you are right now at comfortable2uncomfortable.talk. And guess what? You can also catch us at the same tag on Instagram. Make sure you go hit that like and follow button as well. Also, man, check us out on YouTube, Comfortable Being Uncomfortable, the podcast, one word. So make sure you go hit that subscribe button, and then make sure you check out our website, www.cbupodcast.com. All right, so look, man, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know we coming right back to y'all, in the next, 30 seconds. Big shout out. Adrian Amos said, here she go. All right, yeah. All right, big shout out to my sorority sisters of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and my fraternity brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Until next time, man, 30 seconds. We'll be right back with overtime segment. Peace.